Hello and welcome back to another video. Today it is Psgl round 3 at USA. Heading into this round we are P2 in this championship, 12 points behind Barry Boromand, I believe. And yeah, looking for a good result here to hopefully close the gap to him in the championship and yeah, get our championship fully started. Because I don't think I've got the best results in the first two races. I think it's been a P. Well, I had a P2, pretty decent, but obviously I want to win, and a P5, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, looking for the win here. Obviously going to be pretty hard. I was looking alright for pace. Not too fast, not too. Well, I definitely had it in there for pole, which is definitely a plus side for us. So yeah, but yeah, this is our first Q1 run. And yeah, it's just basically trying to get a lap on the board that should safely see us through, hopefully, as we always do. 0.09 through the first sector, so pretty decent so far. Missing the inside a little bit there on the curb, but yeah, not such a bad start to this lap. As Luke Smith sets up 2.51, so we're looking to go a little bit beneath that, maybe to just secure ourselves a into Q2, as Dane Bresnay sets a 1.98. It's a pretty decent lap from him. We're looking just before the 100 meters down into fourth, missing the inside a little bit, outside on the curb, so it's been pretty scruffy lap. So missing that corner as well, so it's been pretty scruffy, but yeah, we're still looking on for an okay lap, bit wide, but then getting the good exit, and yeah, that was pretty nice. Probably a tenth and a little bit gone through those few corners, but yeah, still looking for a decent lap that should safely see us through. Hitting the apex nicely, run it out wide, pretty nicely, down into fourth, a little bit more inside curb was needed, but yeah, up to the line. It's 32.9, P2, 200ths off Thomas Rolonha, and then we end up 400ths thereabouts off of P1. Yano, P11, he was actually really ill, didn't really do any practice, so he's going to be a little bit on the back foot, but obviously being Yano up me, you can never count him out. So yeah, as we start our first Q2 lap, heading into turn 1, the delta in the top is to a used tyre run. Through turn 1 pretty decent, nice little improvement, nearly going to be 800ths up into the S's. Carrying lots of speed pretty nicely, and then tucking it back in pretty okay, bit slower than Q1, but yeah, they all do. Up through the S's, and then we just kind of drive off track. I was expecting the car to slide, but it just didn't slide in the end. So yeah, that's our first lap pretty much done and dusted. Sliding through that corner as well, so it's been, yeah, a pretty terrible lap. Danny Bresnay, fastest on 32.0. Wilson Hughes 31.9, Barry Borman 31.9. So yeah, it wasn't a great lap. We are down on Bresnay by just under 1.5 tenths, and sliding up here. Looks like we're gonna back off. There was no point in even finishing that lap. We know the delta. You see here, Ayano's absolutely dead with his voice. But yeah, both going to do our best to get through. We are definitely not going to be through if we don't improve, because we're P12 at the moment. But yeah, the pace is definitely comfortably in there to get a good result here. As we head up into turn 1, just after the black pots, breaking down into 4th gear, hit the inside and accelerate out pretty nicely. 900ths up, nearly a 10th up now. Heading into the S's, flick right, left, right again, carrying the maximum speed possible, and it's a 0.0 first, slightly quicker than the first attempt. Through the uphill left, pretty nicely, not too good, but yeah, no real risk needed in this Q2 session. And now into the left-hander. Very important to get a good exit here. basically you're just constantly having to get a good exit out there to carry all the speed down this long straight. And then now, just before the 100 meters again, turning, braking, and then accelerating out, up to 5th, down to 4th. Being very gentle on the car, on the power. You're just going to be pretty much just scrubbing speed if you get any wider than what we went through there. Now through the fast right hander, 6/10 up. This is looking for a decent lap, not too fast. 5th gear, in we go, and then 4th, pretty alright, up to the line 31.898. Just like that didn't look too bad, but we're 2/10 off, nearly off Thomas. So yeah, not ideal, but yeah, we can definitely. It's only Q2. Heading into Q3, we're definitely looking like we do have the pace for maybe a pole position here. So that is the main thing. So yeah, starting our first lap. Up to 8th gear. Down into 4th once again. Hitting. Oh no, not hitting the apex at all. Probably a 10th gone there. Not ideal, but yeah, it is what it is. Through the S's, flick right, left, right again with some brake, straight back on the power, try and carry the speed, carry the downforce. A 9 firsts, a 0.9 first, so not a great first sector, and then getting it really messed up through there, not ideal, but Otis goes to the top with 31.8. So far this has not been a great lap, missing the corner completely, pretty terrible so far. You see in my face I'm not really happy, but it's usually when the last lap where it comes down to. That's what makes the difference. As we head down into the hairpin, missing the corner as well, so it's been pretty terrible lap, I won't lie. And 1.8 into the last sector. Yeah, it's been pretty terrible. Running a bit wide there, not anything really to cool up on, but again, it's just not been fully hooked together. Thomas Ronald goes to the top on a 0.5. Barry Bowman follows him with a slightly faster 0.5. And now we're into the last corner. What are we going to do? Not been a very good lap. 31.7. So we're about over nearly 3/10 off.
Right. Well, I wouldn't say we're close.
As I said, we wouldn't say, but we definitely were. But now this is where it matters. This is where we have to pull the lap together. 5th gear, down into 3rd, set up the last corner, and now gonna head up the long straight. 200's down, but delta is usually wrong at the start of the lap, so it doesn't really matter. About equal into the first corner, braking, overslowing a little bit too much, getting a bit of wheel spin, not ideal, but around a 10th up now. 800ths, but now into the flicking right, left, right. And then sending it through here. It's 24.9, pretty decent first sector there. And now up, missing the inside, and then missed the inside of there as well. It's been pretty horrible so far. It's just not really committed, but now into the chicane, hairpin, sorry. Getting a nice rotate, but that gets really slow on the power. And it's just, as I say that, we just got to send it now. It has not been too good of a lap so far. Was looking for like a low 6 split maybe. Missing this again. It's all going wrong for us right now. 7 middle sector split. 10th and a half down on Thomas, but I know we can definitely bring some time back in the last sector. We were strong here, all in practice. Out the corner, just over a 10th up, nearly pushing a 10th and a half as we head through. 10th and a half up, gonna flick it in. A little bit too much curb, but again, gaining time and then braking in, getting the car nicely rotated up to the line. It's P5 for now.
Back,
but yeah, as you can tell, I wasn't too pleased with that lap. It was pretty horrible. As we're looking at Patrick Supos's penalty, but it did end up getting restarted, and he kept his P3. You see inters and then 2 dry clouds at the end. So it'll be interesting to see what we go
Black.
for. A 1-stop or a
Black
2-stop
Jake.
to the rain. As the lights are about to start coming on. It's going to be Thomas, Barry on pole, Thomas second, Patrick, and then Otis, then myself, and it's lights out and away we go. Getting a pretty terrible start. Reaction was pretty good, but getting a bit too much wheel spin. On the inside, Barry and Thomas getting squeezed. We're going to hold it around the outside of Danny Bresnay and then try to look to the inside, but Otis kind of just shuts the door completely. Yeah, the car on his outside, so that's fair enough. Now we just got to make sure we don't run into the back of Otis Lawrence because they're going to be bottling up behind. So really close here. And then Otis kind of just brakes. I think he misjudged how far ahead Thomas was. But that's, again, we went into the back of him, so that's my fault.
That's my bad.
So that's my bad. Just after 100 meters now in the wet conditions, so again, no practice done in these conditions, so we just gotta kind of get on with it, see what we can do.
My bad, Otis.
So I asked the engineer there, tyre condition, but mainly that's just making sure that we had no front wing damage. Otis goes a bit wide, so yeah, everyone's just basically trying to get in a rhythm, trying to just feel out the conditions because it will be changing throughout the race. So that's the main thing we got to watch out for. But yeah, through the, I don't know what they're called, like hexagonal curves or whatever they're called. I don't know what they are, but yeah, we're missing the corner this time. So yeah, just about really getting into the rhythm, getting the whole like set up, the balance right. As we're struggling a little bit with Danny Bresnay adapting to these conditions very well. But now we're pretty much just saving tyres as Barry Borman actually leaves the session. He's lagged out. And yeah, that's pretty good for us, but very unlucky for him because we're going to get a free position on him. As he's already dropped down to the back by this point, so yeah, it's pretty unlikely for him. Yeah, not really much to say. It's just, yeah, it's just unlucky. I guess it happens here and there. We've had a few disconnects in our time, but yeah. So this is like perfect for the championship because if I win this race, we're going to be 4 points clear in the championship lead. Basically heading into Jeddah, which is next week, but obviously we have to win the race, and that's a lot harder said than done. A lot easier said than done, sorry. As Otis and that, they're all using a bit of their battery. Also I saw them sliding around quite a bit. So by this point I know I'm quite decent on tyres. There's not really much to really be concerned about. The 1.1 second gap, yeah, it's there, but also I believe that we're going to have an advantage at the end of the race if it does stay wet, to to potentially just pretty much just, yeah, have a big enough pace advantage to attack them. That is if it stays dry, or maybe go for an overcut. But you see here, lap 13,
Oh my God.
Manuel Biancalila bins
Tyre
it,
saving
and
was done for 0 effect.
as I said, tyre saving done for 0 effects, but as you'll see soon, it does
It's 10
prove
more minutes
quite
for rain,
good.
it says.
As Jono says, 10
Wilson
minutes
just
of
stopped.
rain. We're going to fake to the
Oh,
pit lane,
Otis
and
in.
Otis actually goes for it. I don't know if he was copying us or trying to copy us or not, but yeah, Otis pits, and now by this point me and Jano
About
actually
20
pits as
people
well.
about to spin because the throttle limiter just pops off.
And Jano just pit because he had nothing to lose. He didn't think this strategy would fully work, but yeah, Otis and Jano are both pitted. and now we're trying to set up the last corner. Thomas didn't get the greatest of runs, so we're right up behind him now. And this is crucial. We've got to try and attempt to make a move. You see it, Thomas could move in the braking zone. Yeah, nothing to report there, but he did move slightly in the braking zone. But yeah, again, nothing to report. Just gotta find the rhythm again. Watch for Jarno and Otis's progress, because everyone knows Jarno is ridiculously fast in the wet conditions, so it would not surprise me if he starts catching up to the back of us. As you see, we're following Thomas very closely, yeah. 2 turns back, as we head into the hairpin. 2 turns back still.
Okay, yeah.
But then in the, yeah, obviously losing out. But yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, just nothing to really report, as Thomas is actually going for a move on to Patrick Sipos. Runs onto the curb. They're going side by side. Now, this is the point where I'm thinking I've got to try and make a move at this point. If they make a mistake, then I've got to be ready to pounce, as Thomas sends it around the outside. And I'm thinking if he gets sent by, he drives off the track. I'm not really sure if he needed to, just to make sure he gets better traction. So at this point I'm thinking, yeah, it's definitely not report worthy, but yeah, it was a bit cheeky from him, as obviously he drove off track to gain an advantage.
What? Oh
as
I'm looking at you!
as by this point I'm looking at Jarno. Jarno's
I'll let you
already
go,
up behind us,
Yeah, I'll go
and
on
I just lost concentration, and you see here, Jarno's gonna go for us. As Jarno's now past us. We've got 8 laps to go. The whole weather situation isn't really changing too much too quickly, as Jarno's absolutely flying up the field basically now. Not really much we can do because he's on such younger tyres, and we got Otis Lawrence with 3-second penalty, 2.2 behind. So yeah, it's not looking too good at this point. We're definitely gonna gain on Barry, but obviously I want to win this race, and at the moment it's not looking too likely, especially with Jarno on the other strategy. But if anyone does win, obviously we want it to be Jarno, because the constructors, we want to win, obviously. But yeah, so far not going too well. Now, as Jarno sets the fastest lap, over a second a lap faster than us right now. So it just shows the power of those new tyres. I actually spoke to him after, and no one could understand why the Inters were so much quicker in this race, compared to the worn Inters. But yeah, I guess that's what you get. You get a pace advantage, but also you get put back in the traffic. You gotta play the right strategy, and clearly they have, well, Otis and Jarno. But yeah, you see on the delta there to Otis, he just gained like 2 tenths on traction alone. So
I
yeah,
can max go 1 more after this, like absolutely.
as I'm saying there, I can max.
Sorry, where are you on?
70.
As I actually said a wrong number. I wanted to basically get the people watching my streams,
I might go this lap.
who are engineer and the other drivers, to think that I'm on higher wear than I really was. But yeah, I basically said the wrong number.
Yeah, I think Patrick is struggling as well.
I could have went on for a couple more laps, if I really wanted to. Would have been a bit risky, but yeah, I could have done it if need be. But now, do I pit? Is it worth? As I'm saying now,
Staying out.
as we're looking
No,
a new strategy to the, as we're breaking into the last corner, a new
Mate,
strategy on the MFD, and that is terrible. That is awful. Yeah. Now we're basically we're going to lose on the ideal lap. You see it, and we're going to have
Yeah,
to
I'm
box
overheating.
behind Yarno.
I'm gonna slow up a little bit.
So basically now we've got to stick it in the middle of the track, slow it down a little bit, try and get as far behind Yarno as possible, just so we can get a clean enough pit stop. You see, I'm not happy. We are going to get held, getting a purple 2.2 second stop. But again, look, we're just waiting, losing time, probably 2-3 seconds
Okay, I
gone
didn't lose
there.
as much as I thought, but God's sake.
I'd say that
Why did Otis
didn't
start?
lose as much as I thought, but
Maybe faster until the end and just enters. I don't know.
as I asked, why is Otis staying out? And Otis is going to stay out the whole way because he thinks Inters are going to be faster to the end. But yeah, we are going to find out. We've come out with Danny Bresnay right behind us, in front of us, sorry, because we had obviously got held. But yeah, now it's all about getting past Bresnay and then getting up to the back of Thomas Ronha, who is just ahead of Barry Boromand. If we can do that, then that'd be absolutely perfect. And yeah, basically we need to. I would rather beat Thomas than beat Danny, because Thomas will be closer in the championship, and he's the one that we are fighting more closely, as we're going to go to the outside of Bresnay. He lets us go, and now it's pretty much a case of trying to drop him if we can. That would be the ideal situation right now, but obviously you don't have the ideal situation. You see I'm now burning 7 temps clear of Danny Bresnay. Thomas up ahead 3.4, so we've still got to gain another 4 temps to him, as well with Harvey Cohen in the way now. That's not ideal. He's obviously going to be helping Otis, being a part of the F1 elites, as he defends
Why are
here.
you defending?
Oof, that was closer than I thought, as I just got a bit angry on why he's defending, because yeah, I think it's a little bit unnecessary, just trying to stay out to block people, not even help your own race. But yeah, obviously it's a team game. Well, it's not, but I guess it is in some cases. But now Ruben Pedrania up next, out the last corner. You seem very quick in a straight line. I literally am gaining nothing right now. Up into first corner, big send, easy move, up into
He might have
P2 now.
almost been faster to stay out.
P5, not B2. Am I blind? Apparently. 3.3 behind Thomas Ronha now. So we've got to gain another 3 attempts to him in these last 2 laps, which is definitely possible. Our pace has been pretty good in the dry, so it's all to play for in this last few laps.
No
He's
matter what I
also
do,
going
I'll
to
finish in
probably
second.
be getting held up by Otis, who's ahead of him. You see 4.3 seconds ahead for Otis. And yeah,
I'm gonna be able to keep Bresnay behind either.
Jarno's actually up ahead, fighting for the lead, so he's in a masterful strategy, pretty much, as usual
Sequels is flashing as well.
with Jarno in these situations. He's very good under pressure. As Thomas is actually now getting held up by Otis Lawrence, 3.1 seconds ahead, 3.0, and it's just coming down all the time. He
he
goes
got a
up the
penalty.
inside
Who?
What a clown.
as Patrick Cepos
Cepos.
gets a penalty,
Oh, back
and
him
now we're
up, please.
2.6.
1-2.
I'm behind.
behind.
I'm behind.
Oh.
I'm behind.
2.6 behind Thomas Ronha, and starting the final lap. This is going to be very intense because we've got to get past Otis as fast as possible, but we've also got to make sure we can keep in touch, in distance of Thomas Ronha, as well as keep Danny Bresnay behind us. So this is going to be a big task on our hands here. With dying soft tyres, Danny Bresnay behind on mediums that are still just as fast. Otis Lawrence right ahead of us, causing mayhem. As now we're right up behind him now. And now I wanted to get DRS on Otis. That was my main plan. So we do, up the inside. But then getting a pretty slow exit, pretty sluggish. Bresnay right up behind us. with about 60%, he told me after, so there's literally no way we could fight this. But the main thing is we are still under a 2.3 seconds of Thomas Ronha Bresnay into the corner. Little tap on him there, but yeah, I basically just did not want to fight him now. I wanted to make sure I could beat Thomas with a good final sector. 2.9, it's going to be really close there. 2.9 still.
They got me. You never know.
But yeah, basically all I'm looking at now is the top of the screen to try
Oh
and
my
beat
God,
Thomas. Into the final sector now for the final time. 3.0, so it's not looking good at the moment. Into the final corner, we've got to absolutely nail it. 2.9, up to the line,
Oh,
and
I
we
got
do
Thomas
get
at
him.
least.
And
Ah,
that is perfect
there
because
goes
we've
5 subs.
extended to,
Yeah.
I can't
I
believe
forgot
so
about that.
there goes 5 subs.
How have you won, man?
Ooh,
Because I said to
I
Yano
played the
before this
last few
race,
maps so badly. 6?
56.
if he wins this
It did
race,
work. I
then
think it
I'll
was
give
like
him
that
5
before.
subs. So I did.
As well.
But yeah, it's not ideal for
Yeah.
us, but yeah, it is what it is. Yano wins.
Oh,
Good points for constructors, and now we're actually leading the
I'm gonna
constructors in
pick some
Psgl.
parachute
So that is absolutely perfect for us. But
and run out.
yeah. P2 in the championship,
Jesus.
2.4 points off
Oh, it's still
Barry,
Alex.
so it's pretty decent. But yeah, I do want to be winning,
Uh.
having the pace to win everywhere. Hopefully we can
Thank you,
be
Jake
fine up
Benham,
top.
for the 5
But
gifted.
yeah, I appreciate everyone watching.
Set your map,
And yeah, I'll see you
Thank
in
you,
the
my
next
10 for
one.
the 5 gifted as well. man.
Cheers.